Hello and welcome to a new explanatory video on Technology Tuesday. Today, we wanted to delve into the master and slave principle from manufacturers like Autotuner, Alientech, and Flex, or Magic Motorsport. With the flashes, you have the choice there between the master tool and the slave tool, and we wanted to illustrate the differences between the two tools. As a master tool, you have full control over the file. This means that when you read a file from a vehicle with a master tool, regardless of the manufacturers, you have full control over it. You can edit the file yourself, you can basically do whatever you want with the file. The file is completely decrypted for you. You can edit the file yourself, or you can send the file to someone for editing, essentially as a file service. But you can send it to whomever you want. That means it is completely unencrypted. We have exactly the opposite with the slave tool. The slave tool is usually about half the price, but you need to connect this slave tool to a master. This means that if you read a file with a slave tool, then this file is encrypted. This file that you have read can only be decrypted by the one person you have designated as the master, have selected not a person. In most cases, these are large companies. This means you can essentially offer chip tuning with half the investment if you have decided who the right master is for you and who provides the best support. Then you don't have to spend the full 5,000 euros in most cases for a master tool, but instead you can buy a slave tool for half the price. What advantages and disadvantages do I personally see in the slave tool? One advantage is if you have really chosen the right master, then in most cases you will have full support. The master will take the most care of you, as I can speak from my perspective when I am personally in the file service. When I am personally in the file service, or when I am currently doing file service, it goes as follows. When a file comes in from the slave, then this file is of absolute priority for me. When I receive a file from another master and something goes wrong somehow, then, yes, it doesn't mean that I don't take care of it, but I want to say that I pay more attention to a slave tool. There is, yes, full support there. With a master, I assume he has certain basic knowledge that, in my opinion, a slave tool does not need to have. That's what we're there for the slave. But if you have a master tool, then I can't really play my aces because I reveal all my information. And then the value of the slave is practically lost. On the other hand, there are data sets that I only pass on to the slave because I've invested hours and days of development into them, and then I would be reluctant to throw something like that into the open market, because if I do, this file will just be resold. That's not the purpose of the matter, at least not for me. The purpose of the matter, but that can always happen. All in all, that's basically it. In short, the master tool is simply unencrypted, and the slave tool is encrypted, but only to the one master you choose, not two or three. It's always just one. So choose your master wisely. Look where there is a personal relationship with whom you can somewhat identify, where there is also support. What I personally noticed with this master and slave setup is that many people connect to huge file service companies where they don't have a personal contact person. There's no phone number, and if there is a phone number, it's not well maintained. This means that hardly anyone answers, and the personal contact is simply not there. So personally, I mostly receive requests for a slave change from people who are with large companies, and I very often hear that the support is simply not that good. On one hand, it's understandable, as there are probably thousands of file services behind it every day, but on the other hand, support should still be provided. I personally make sure not to take on too many slaves so that I can still manage everything. If it ever reaches a point where I can no longer keep up with the support requests, or do not meet your needs, I would ensure that I definitely get reinforcement. That's why we carefully filter our requests to see who fits into our team and who doesn't, to ensure that you receive the perfect support from us. If you don't want to miss any more tech videos and want to further educate yourself on the topic of chip tuning, then take a look up here on the top left where we have our Tech Tuesday playlist. Check it out, maybe it's interesting for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was informative enough. That's actually my main goal. I don't want to entertain you, but rather provide value. Toodle-oo, and don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and comment if necessary.